All right, here we go again. We are back for the next encounter on the adventure H1 Keep on the Shadowfell. As now the adventurers are heading into Shadowfell Keep level 1. We'll be playing through area A1, the Goblin Guard Room. So, what has happened here is our adventurers have taken care of the burial site, got Dalvinstall back to his wife, and collected their reward, which was pretty much just experience points. And as they got back into town, they took an extended rest and ventured around and talked with some people and stuff, and found out a little bit about the keep and a lot of people's ghost stories about things happening in the keep and strange things happening around the keep, and a little bit of history of a possessed, or whatever you want to call it, a rogue paladin that had gone crazy in the keep, and they mentioned him as a formidable paladin, and had been an instrument in the downfall of the keep. Many things talking about Orcus and portals to the Shadowfell. Things kind of like that happening there. And so the adventurers decide they're going to go kind of check check the keep out and find out what's going on down there and see what's happened, because the villagers are a little bit restless. All these kobolds on the road causing problems that they've taken care of, but then also these strange things happening around the city. So they have decided to go ahead and head down to the keep, the old ruins of the keep. And it reads as ahead, the narrow track widens into a clearing. Great piles of shattered stone block and scorched timbers dominate the clearing, sprawling out from its center to the edge of the woods. No plants grow among the ruins or within the clearing. The ground is bare dirt, and although the forest has begun to reclaim the path leading here, it has not intruded into the ruins of the Shadowfell Keep. Yet clearly someone has tampered with the ruins. In the center of the debris, stone blocks and timbers have been gathering into a pile. Someone has cleared a path through the rubble and pulls aside the wreckage, revealing a stone staircase. The staircase descends into darkness. So it's also saying things like how as they approach the keep, things get a lot more quiet, and that you're not hearing the birds around or any sort of wildlife things that are going on here. Things get really, really eerie and quiet. So at this point, the heroes are going to ascend down into the keep, and as they approach down in here, they enter into the Goblin Guard Room. So with that, we will go ahead and I'll roll up some initiative real quick and post it on up. All right. We got some initiative up here, and it looks like it's interesting. Slinger should be going first, but before we get going, I'm going to check and see if we have any sort of a surprise round happening here at this moment. Because our heroes are going to be coming into the keep trying to be quiet, and there is a goblin warrior there quite close. So let's see if the heroes are going to get some sort of surprise round at first coming in here. So the characters will be checking. The passive perception of the creatures in the area is 7. And the group stealth is going to be 4. Let's see what happens. Ooh, we just messed it. They did hit it or overcome it, so just barely. I mean, that is just right the same amount. It's a mediocre, pretty much. passing of their stealth check. So with that, I think I'm going to give our characters a surprise round, so where they can all do at least one action here in the guard room. Also, I forgot to mention the features of the area. The guard room here is illuminated bright light because the goblins do have some torches out and around. There's a curtain you can see that blocks line of sight. It's difficult terrain. I didn't put any markers on there, but it should be difficult terrain in those squares going through it, or to go through it, and then to pull it down is a DC 15 strength check. The pit trap we don't know of quite yet, but there is one here somewhere that if the PCs fall into it, basically it's a DC 20 to notice it, and then falling into the pit's 1d10 damage, and they climb out. It's DC 15 athletics, so hopefully none of our characters fall into there and find out what's going crazy. I'll put a round back up here. We are in round 1, but we'll do a surprise round for the heroes first. Kind of just go in initiative order. With the surprise round, they all get one action. So with that, what do we want Perrin to do first? I guess he could kind of move 2, 3, 4, 5. It would have him move up to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right to there. And I'm going to have him roll his perception check at this point to see if he notices anything out of the ordinary as he's moving forward. Let's roll his skill, perception. And this is going to be DC 20. Ooh, that's really high. I don't know if he can even make that. I guess he could. And he has a perception of 3 plus 3. Ooh, rolled right off that 19. Okay, so Perrin is not going to notice the pit trap anywhere. With that, that's his one action. Skylar would be next. You know what? I think Skylar would do at this point. Of course. I think she's going to attack. Don't really need to pull a twin strike out right now. There's not 2 creatures in the area that they can see. She can do her nimble strike, but also if she does a fading strike, she could shift 2, but I don't think that 2 is really going to help her at the moment. She doesn't have 2 spaces to shift into. So I'm just going to have her do a nimble strike at this time. I'm going to have her, because it says shift 1 square before or after the attack. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the attack now and have her attack number 1 before it can get off any sort of alarm. No additional bonuses. And that's a natural 1. So I think maybe Perrin jumping on into the room, the goblin kind of knew things were ready. Knew that things were happening, I should say. Natural 1, that's a miss. And so it kind of was ready for Skylar's strike to shoot out. She was off target a little bit. But then there's Mira. Mira's next with her surprise round. I mean, she could magic missile. Definite hit. That's 9 damage. Don't know. Could slow the target. Maybe they want to do that so it can't warn anything. Yeah, let's Ray of Frost. She's going to do a Ray of Frost attack. It has to be range 10. Let's make sure she's got range on here from the corner. Yep, it's within 8. So let's do a Ray of Frost. No additional modifiers. Ooh, 14. That's enough to hit. Nice. And with the Ray of Frost, we're going to do 1d6 damage plus 5. Not a critical hit, no additional modifiers. 7 damage, okay. And with that, and the target is slowed until the end of your next turn. So he's down to 2 movement. So I'm going to write down that condition here. We're in round 1. Target is Goblin number 1. And he is slowed. Duration until end of Source's next turn. Source is Mira. Power was Ray of Frost. All right. Nice. Moving on. Harbrick. I'm going to have Harbrick check at that point with his perception check. Noticing kind of Perrin looking around. I'm going to have him do his, before he moves, he's going to do his perception check to see if he can notice that trap. Where it's at. Perception for him is 2. Ooh, it's got to have a big roll. And he doesn't know. So, with that, Harbrick, with his 1 action, he's not close enough, but he's got a movement of 5. 1, 2, 3. I think he would try to get in there straight through, but maybe not. 2, 3, 5. Yeah. I mean, he failed. How mightily did he fail? Pretty much by 14. So that is a dreadful, that's a dreadful failure. So I am going to say he's going to kind of just charge. He's just going to charge on in there to try to get a position. 1, 2, 3. As he steps here, the door will fall. And let's see what happens here. The trap will go off, obviously. I mean, and then I think he gets to make a saving throw. Let me look this up real quick. I think he gets to make the saving throw to see if he falls into the pit or not. So let's look this up. Okay, so I think I'm going to treat this as like a hidden pit. So as he falls, the pit is going to make an attack against his reflex. So let's see how we want to do this. I think I'll just roll it. It's going to be a +4 against his reflex. So let's go 1d20 +4. And this is going to be against Harbrick's. Oh my goodness, that's a 23. That definitely hits his 13. So Harbrick is going to fall. Let's go ahead and move the trap door back over here out of the way. Harbrick is going to fall into the pit. Now I know that if he has a certain skill, he can help alleviate that damage. But let's also check too for Harbrick. He does not have any traits that prevent against or immediate interrupts. Nothing against there. So at least the trapdoor's been revealed. The target falls 10 feet to the bottom of the pit and takes 1d10 damage. So let's go ahead and roll damage. And roll 1d10 plus 0. Oops. I am having a hard time today. Here we go. 7 damage on Harbrick as he falls down. Now also you'll notice that he has also triggered the rats here. So let's go ahead and add them to the initiative order. Roll some initiative for him. Ooh, 19. Let's place him in place, because we haven't even started round 1 yet. But now falling into the rats here, says a rat swarm makes a melee basic attack as a free action against any enemy that begins its turn in the aura. Well, it wasn't the beginning of his turn, so there, he's good there. He's just like, rats. We got rats down here. So Harbrick triggers the trap, falls 10 feet. And I thought there was something that he could do with like athletics to prevent the fall, or I mean, he's trained in athletics. Let me look it up real quick just in case. He's trained athletics to kind of like alleviate the fall. He's got climb on there to see if he can get out, because he's going to need that. What does it say about falling? Reducing falling damage. If a creature has training in acrobatics, it can make a check to reduce the damage of the fall. So he is not trained in acrobatics, so he is not going to be able to do that. All right, he takes the full 7 damage from it. The rats are now in play down in the pit there. And lastly, we have Andor. I can't believe Andor's at the bottom. So with Andor, what I think I'm going to have him do, he has a speed of 6. He is not going to be able to get anything else in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, to jump over that pit, he could try to do that. With like a charge, he could do a charge action. Let's see here. Okay, nope, he's got to be able to get right up next to him. But what I think I'll do is I'll have him do basically move his speed. Go 1, 2, 3. He's got 3 squares before he's going to do a long jump across the 10 feet. And that's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to try to have him do that. So when he does this long jump, let's see what happens here. With Andor, he's trained in both athletics and acrobatics, but I think I'm going to have him do the acrobatics to jump across that pit. So let's see. Kind of acrobatics. It's basically a standing long jump. It's kind of like athletics, but he can use his acrobatics to do that. So let's see. A jump, not a high jump, but it is going to be a long jump. Here we go. Okay, long jump. Make an athletics check to make a long jump. 2 squares, long jump. Running start, he was able to do that, at least 2 squares. Yep. Double the result before dividing by 10. Okay. I better figure this out here. Okay, so it says that the check is usually part of a move action, but it can be part of any of the creature's actions that involve the creature moving. Okay, so we're just doing a move. Divide the athletics check result by 10 rounded down. Well, we're going to do it through acrobatics. rounded down. This determines the number of squares the creature can clear with the jump. So, and then it's got a little chart for it. So let's do his acrobatics check at this point to see if he can use acrobatics to clear. And I'm not going to put any sort of DC, just put DC 0 for now, because this is going to be checking to how many he can clear. So there's really not a DC involved here. Now his acrobatics is plus 12. And let's see what he gets. 21. So with a 21 athletics result, he clears total distance cleared 2 squares or 3 square total move 3 squares. So he's going to be able to do it. Cool. All right, so he just barrels over the pit and then gets here. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. He's going to be able to make it to there and get on the other side of the pit. With that, we are going to go into round 1. Not a very good surprise round, but good enough to get everybody in position. And we will go from there. I think I'll just take this pit up and off for now. All right. Harbeck's down in the pit. Andor has cleared the pit. Perrin's standing at the edge of the pit. Maybe he can help Harbeck get out. If Harbeck can't get anything to get out, I mean, he's going to take an attack from the rats pretty much being down there in that pit. So, we'll see what happens. Beginning of round 1, Goblin Slinger, number 2. I think they would hear the commotion here at this point, knowing that they are under attack. So let's go down to them. Goblin Slinger, number 1. He's got a movement of 6, and they basically have hand crossbows, wearing leather armor and short swords. If the target granting combat advantage sharpshooter, he gets an extra 1d6. Okay. If the sharpshooter misses with a ranged attack from hidden, it remains hidden. Okay, well, he's not hidden. Sort of is hidden. They can't see him, but let's get him into the fray right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At this point, he can't see Harbeck. He's in the pit, but he can see Perrin and he can see Andor, because the rats and Harbeck are down in the pit. So he should be able to make a crossbow attack. I think the closest one is at Andor pretty much. So let's just go ahead and do that. I think I'll have him do that. Make that hand crossbow attack against Andor. No additional modifiers. And just misses by 1. Andor being ready, having pulled off a jump across the pit with his athletic move. Maybe he jumped off the side of the pillar or something and then hit the other pillar as he landed, or I don't know. Anyway, that's the goblin is missed by an attack. So nope, he wasn't missed. But I should check here. The goblin is missed by an attack. The goblin shifts 1 square. I forgot to do that one. I think I'm going to retcon it because Skylar missed it by an attack. So he can shift 1 square. If he shifted back, would he still be in range for Mira's Red Frost, which is 10? Let's find out. I think she still is. Yep, 9 squares. Okay. So when he's here, I guess he could have shifted here, or he could have shifted here. I think I'm going to have him shift back 1, just because of his abilities that they want to move at least 4 squares. So with that, let's move on. GS1. I don't think he had any minors. Nope, just a standard action. That's pretty much it. All right, moving on. Next one is Perrin. Perrin does have... Oh, where was it? +1 bonus, divine fortune. No, I was thinking the one where he could knack for success. The target gains a +4 power bonus to his or her next skill check made before the end of the turn. So this is a minor action. So I think I'm going to have Perrin. He is going to knack for success. And what he's going to do is he's going to give a +4 bonus to the skill check to Harbrick. So I'm going to mark that by this here. I'm going to put a 4 on it. So he is going to get a +4 bonus to his or her next skill check before the end of his or her next turn. So basically to Perrin's next turn. So that way Harbrick can do it on his turn to climb out of that pit. At that point, too, I think I'm going to have him... Lance of Faith. Okay, because athletics to climb out of that is a standard action, if I remember correctly. Let's look and see here. Yep. Climb. No, it's a part of a move action. Cool. So I could still get Harbrick. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to have Perrin is going to do his Lance of Faith against the rats. So he's going to shoot down there with his Lance of Faith against those rats. No additional modifiers. Ooh, rolled right off that 20. Just missing. Oh, so he's not going to get the +2 to Harbrick also. Not good. Whew. I don't think there's anything else he can do with that. Nope. Channel Divinity, but he did use his knack for success. Okay, not starting off. Maybe this crypt, this keep down here under in the Shadowfell Keep is just too creepy for him. They're kind of rattled a little bit here. With that, with Perrin, he still does have a move action. I think I'm just going to leave him there for now. Maybe I could have him. He's got a speed of 5. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kind of get a little bit cover from the pillar instead of standing out there, and still be next to the pit, so he could possibly help Harbrick or something. I mean, he could go to the other side too. He could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, like that to help him out. But no, I think I'll have him go over here. Have him go over there. Moving on. Skylar. All right. Oh, that's right. She could have shifted too with her hit, though she missed. Don't think with this you could shift before or after the attack. So I'm going to have her do it after the attack that she missed. At this point, I think we'll have her do a twin strike. We got one slowed here, but let's have her do a twin strike on both GS1 and on the slinger and the warrior. So let's go. Twin strike we'll try. Slinger first, no additional modifiers. That's a hit. Damage. We are going to be doing 1d10 plus 2. She can't see, so I'm going to say she's going to quarry down here. The warrior, because he's the closest, so no quarry on GS1 and no critical. Nice damage, 11 damage on him. Boom. Not quite bloodied. Now let's do the twin strike on warrior. That's just enough to hit. Nice. And we'll get quarry damage on this one too. 1d10 plus 2. And the quarry damage. Low on that 10. Only 7. Goodness. That wasn't good at all. Still a hit though. That's 2 on him. Is that warrior bloodied now? Let's take a look. Bloodied at 14. Yep. He's almost bloodied by 1. And the slinger, I don't think he's bloody out. He's got to be lower. Yep, he's 15 also. Okay. With Skylar, she does have a move action. I think she'll keep her quarry on 1. If she moves too close to that pit, then the rats would be her next quarry. But maybe we do that. I don't know. Let's see. That was a minor action of quarry, so she only has a move action left. Let's just see where she wants to go. She's got a speed of 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now she could get there. She could still have line of sight a little bit, then she loses it on the slinger, but then so does the slinger on her. Okay, let's do that. Let's just have her move there. All right, the rats are up next. Oof. Obviously, they're down there with Harbrek, so they're going to make a swarm of teeth attack on Harbrek. And 15 is not enough to hit his AC of 19. Now they will get another chance to do an attack as a free action because he is in the Aura 1. There's no really place he can go. All right. Goblin Warrior 1. He is slowed, so he can only move 2 until the end of Mira's next turn. He can only move 2 squares, so he is not going to be able to get his great position strike. So maybe I just have him go 1, 2, and then he'll make a javelin attack onto Andor. I'm just trying to retcon here, make sure Skylar hit both of them. So they don't. If they miss, they get to get that goblin tactics thing. Anyway, javelin attack on Andor. I'm sorry, it would be a spear attack. Let's cancel that out because the javelin is a ranged weapon, so it's just going to be a spear attack for melee. And 16 is not enough to hit. Andor being readied. All right. He did move. He doesn't have any minors. Moving on. Mira's next. Let's see. What do we want Mira to do? I mean, those scorching bursts are doing well. I mean, she could magic missile at this point. Area burst 1's not going to do too much. Don't really want to pull any of the counters out quite yet. She's got a speed of 6. Rats have got 36 hit points. Maybe could have her do. Let's see here. Ray of Frost. I think I'm just going to stick with the magic missile. So I'm going to have her come. I mean, she can shoot her magic missile from there. It is range 20, so easily done. Let's just have her magic missile against the warrior number 1. No additional damage modifiers, so that should be at 9 damage. It's definitely bloodied now, down to 6. And then we can have her move her speed at that point. I feel like I'm forgetting something. That's if she's hit, but we're going to have her come in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get back behind Perrin there. Okay. So, all right, moving on. Goblin Warrior number 2, hearing the combat happening and things going on here now. I think he's going to get into the fray of things, but he's got to move through that curtain, which that curtain, if I remember, is difficult terrain, so it's going to cost 2 movement to get through there. So let's move him 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It did move. It did move 4 squares. So what I'm going to say here is around this corner, with his corner here, he's got Mira within 6 on those 2 squares. So that is going to give him an opportunity to throw a javelin at her from around the corner and see if he can hit her. And that's going to miss just barely by 1. I thought for sure that was going to hit. So Mira's going to know, oh, we got another goblin here. No misses happening, no great position. All right, that's all he could do. Harbreck's turn. All right, Harbreck is going to start his turn with the rats. Okay, the rat swarm make a basic attack as a free action against any enemy that begins its turn in the aura. Well, Harbreck, you're in the aura, so let's go ahead and make their attack again. Swarm of teeth. And they miss again. Okay, Harbreck's just kind of running around, kicking off these rats everywhere. Now, he's got his +4 to his check, basically his athletics check to climb out. Okay, so we're going to have him try to climb out of this pit and see what we can do. Where is that pit again? Find that pit. Hidden pit. Okay, so the pit is no longer hidden. I guess perception was 19. I didn't play this off very well this session here. Okay, so nope, it's not the pit. It's going to be an athletics check to climb out of the pit. Okay, so our athletics check is set at DC 15 to get out of the pit. Okay, so let's do it. DC 15. Now he is going to get his skill modifier of 9 plus the 4, so it's going to give him 13 to get climbing out of this pit. Come on. All right. And he's up and out. So when he does that, he basically does it as his move action. So it's going to be 2 squares to get up. Harbreck has a speed of 5, so 1, 2. I'm going to have him go 3, and then let's have him go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like this, 4, 5. Kind of blocking off the sight for that warrior throwing the javelin. Let's go ahead and take that off because he is now up and out of the pit. Stinking rats! I hate rats. That was a move action. He does have a standard action still, because that would be all a part of his move action. So let's go ahead. I think he does have a range, but I think he can charge at that point. And they could do a melee basic because he can't move any closer, but he could charge with a melee basic to hit. Let's take that action, the car back, charge. Because you move up to your speed. So yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to charge, and he's going to do a melee basic against that one there. And he gets a +1 for the charge. Nice. 22 is enough to hit. Nice. All right, damage. He's going to do 2d6 +2 for a melee basic. No additional, no critical. 10 damage. Nice. Okay, doing pretty well so far. 19, not bloody, but a good hit. Got him taken care of there. Okay. Moving on, Harbrick. Harbrick's up and out of the pit. He's like, guys, there's a pit there. Goblin Slinger number 2. What do we want to have him do? Everything's all kind of happening up here in the room. They just have their hand crossbows. We've not missed anybody with an attack yet, have we? It's nice. So speed of 6. Do I want him to go through the door and double move? There's a curtain in the way. And we could divide them up a little bit. Or there's more people over here. I think he's hearing more stuff here. We're going to keep them in the same area. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll have him do that. Now he can, who's he got sight on here? From this corner here, he definitely can see Perrin. He can sort of see Skylar. Oh, he's got the square back there. Yep. He can see Skylar. Can't see Mira. Oh, maybe. Nope, going through there, and that one goes through there. Nope, can't see Mira. Definitely can see Andor. So Andor, Perrin, and Skylar are all in view of him for his hand crossbow attack. So 1, 2, Andor, 3, 4, Perrin, 5, 6, Skylar. One, 2, Andor. He's shooting at Andor with a crossbow. No additional modifier. And that's going to be a miss. 13 against his 18 is a miss. Wow. No combat advantage. Nothing really else going on here. That's all he can do. And guess whose turn it is? Andor's turn next. All right. So everyone's taken action in the round. He was the lowest one. He's definitely not going to get his sneak attack or his first strike to go off there. And he has no way of really getting combat advantage. So, I think he just needs to get in there and do some sort of, I mean, he might be able to position strike and throw the the goblin down. I think it's forced movement. I think there's a rule against that too. Let's find out. Forced movement into a pit. I think they get a saving throw against it. Direction. Where did it go? Okay, here we go. Catching oneself. If a target is forced over the precipice or into a hindering terrain such as lava or a pit, the target can immediately make a saving throw to avoid going over the edge and entering into the terrain. If the creature saves, it falls prone at the last square. Let's try this. This would be kind of fun. Positioning strike. We're going to try to slide the Goblin Warrior number 1 down into the pit. Let's do this. Okay, Andor coming up. The positioning strike. No additional modifiers. And that's enough to hit. All right. 1d4 plus 5. You might kill him. Not a sneak attack, not a critical. Nothing additional. 6 damage. Okay. Well, guess what? That's enough to kill him. Dang it. I was hoping the fall would take him out. So, with that being said, he's no longer quarried. He's no longer slowed because he is out and out of the game. So, let's go ahead and send him to the graveyard. He is gone. Okay. Well, it would have been, we could still do it though. You know, maybe we give the rats a meal down there. You can slide them, let me go back to the map layer here. He can slide them 1, 2, 3 down into the pit. We'll stick him down there. Because his power reads, and you slide the target 3 squares. So he slid a dead creature down into the pit. All good though. He's out. All right. Ander still has a move, and what he can do is he does have tumble. He can shift up to his speed, and when he shifts, you do not provoke an opportunity attack. I think I'm going to do that right now. To go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Kind of to get back here behind him. Actually, I'm just going to have him go there because if any of these slingers make an attack from there, they're going to have to shift 1 square to make an attack. And this way, Andor's kind of in the middle of them so that he can block or take some opportunity attacks if needs be. Okay. Tumbling on through, no opportunity attacks, even though he's got some really good defense against opportunity attacks. I'm still going to use that. On to round number 2. And slinger number 2 right there. Okay, what's he want to do? He is, I mean, he could short sword at this point though. He could, keep his hand crossbow at bay and try to make a short sword attack. Gets in some good damage though. I didn't remember that. Let's do that. Short sword against Andor. No additional modifiers. Oh, and Andor's kind of in there and flanking. Don't matter. 1 is a miss. With that, I think I'll have him shift back 1. And that's pretty much it. Perrin will be next. Knows Harbrecht's got that taken care of pretty good over there. Maybe we get him a Lance of Faith for Andor. Andor's been hit. No, who got hit? Oh, just Harbrecht when he fell. No one else has taken any damage. Interesting. Maybe we have a Lance of Faith, Sacred Flame. Makes a saving throw 3 temporary hit points. Don't really need that. Let's have him Lance of Faith. Okay. Because he should be able to see. No, what did I just do? Oh, I hit the turn order. Let's put that back over there. I hit the turn order button. Didn't mean to do that. I meant to hit this. And let's measure from there. Oh, yeah, he can see. Well, he's kind of going through a creature. So, you know what? I mean, he should still be able to see him. Or maybe not. Maybe he needs to get across this pit somehow. He's going through the creature. I'm going to say it's a small creature though, but it is going through a square, but he can see kind of through the wall right there. I'm going to say he can. I can say he can see it. So he's going to do his Lance of Faith on number 2. Or does he want to do his Lance of Faith on number 3? Is he 5 squares away? Can you see him? Nope, it goes through number 2. So he's going to have to do it on number 2. Okay, Lance of Faith, number 2. Hopefully we hit this time. Oh, 10 is not going to be enough. He's going to allow that thing to shift. Okay, Slinger number 2's got his short sword happening here. and now his he's missed by attack by Perrin again. So I'm going to say he shifts back to here because you know what? They're going to get combat advantage against Andor. It's going to happen. Perrin. Yeah, that's not going to give him the bonus because he didn't hit. He didn't hit with it, and one ally you can see gets a +2 bonus against his next attack roll. That's not going to help. So, Perrin still has a move action. Moving on. Maybe we need to have him get into the fray here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Have him move up to there because maybe he can help him with some flanking too. Actually, you know what? 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to have him move right there. Immediately get into flanking for just kind of to catty corner the pit. Should be able to do that just fine without falling in. And that's it for Perrin. Skylar's up next. You know, they got him in melee there, so I'm going to have her do a twin strike again here. 1, 2, have her move there. That way, she has line of sight there, there, and there, there. Just fine, all 4 squares there. So we can do a twin strike here. Again, let's start on number 1. No additional modifiers. Golly, that is going to allow it to shift. And of course, where's he going to shift? He's shifting right there to get into flanking. Skylar. But now let's do the twin strike against number 2. And that will hit. Okay, so let's do some damage. Twin strike is going to be 1d10 plus 2. And it's just, I'm going to do the minor saying it's his quarry. That's her quarry. So if we get some extra damage out of here. Not much. Oh, she's hitting really, really low today on those d10s. All right, but still 8 damage. Start hurting. Whoops, I don't know what I did there. No, let's go back. He was at full at 31. So -8. Must have hit something bigger. Down to 23 for a hit. She already did her move action. No minors. Don't really need to use her heroic effort at this time to hit that 1. I mean, she could have done that. That 4 would have actually made it to 16 to hit. But I'll leave it for now. That's all good. Yeah, I'll leave it. Skylar is good there. The rats, I'll just say they scurry around their own. I don't think they have athletics check to get out of there. They don't have acrobatics. I mean, they can try. You see if they can scurry up and out of the pit. Well, maybe we do that. You know, maybe as their move action, let's go ahead and see if they scurry up and out of the pit. You know, because they're kind of moving as a team together here. Let's see if they can get up and out. Skill, athletics. It's going to be a DC 15 with their modifier of +4. You never know. And they do. So let's make this more interesting. They got a climb 2. So what does climb 2 mean? Let's find out. A creature that has climb speed, such as a spider or carrion, doesn't make an athletics check to climb. It simply climbs up to the surface. Okay, never mind. Well, it made the check anyway. So the pit's open. I'm going to have them come up as a climb 2. It does doing so as a part of its action that involves it moving. Okay, so they go 1, 2 up to the pit, 3, and then 4 coming after Mira. They're up and say, "Oh, fresh meat. We're hungry." Okay, and that was a move action, so now they're going to swarm a teeth against Mira. Stinking rats. Oh, rolled off that 13. That still would have hit, though. All right. 24 is enough to hit. 1d6 plus 3. Oh, she's going to get ongoing damage here, too. Oh, max damage. Eek. 9. Okay. And she takes ongoing 3. So put the little broken heart on there. Broken heart with a 3. Ongoing 3 damage. Save ends. I better mark that down here in round 2. Mira hasn't taken her turn yet, has she? Nope. So the rats. Target is Mira. Effect is ongoing damage. Source. It's basically save ends. And source is the rats from swarm of teeth. Okay. Okay. That was their turn pretty much. Going on to Mira, she's next. Ugh. Maybe she needs to slow these things. What can she do? Stinking rats. I guess she could burning hands them. That might be good. Shift back 1. And then let me grab a marker here. Close blast 5. So it's going to kind of look like this. Should just blast right out onto him. Send that to the back. Yeah, that'll work. She's going to close blast 5 with her burning hands onto the rats. And let's see what we get here. That should be enough for a hit. Yep, 19 versus 14 is a hit. Let's roll some damage. Big damage. 2d6 plus 5. Fire damage. Not a critical. Not bad. 14 damage. 14 damage onto the rats, who are now out and free. They're like, we're free. Okay. Just go to over so I can get rid of the zone here. Doesn't stay. Not bad. Half damage if she would have missed, but still hit. 14 damage on it. That was her move and her standard. Oh, I guess I could have done to where her shield went off. You were hit by an attack. You gain a +4 bonus to AC and reflexes until the end of your next turn. This is immediate interrupt. So she could have, it wouldn't have done anything though. +4 would have got her up to 19, even though she got hit with a 24. So that wouldn't have done anything until doing that. But she does have her, an enemy moves adjacent to you. She could have turned insubstantial, then shifted 2 squares. Ooh, that could have negated it. But then let's see here. Insubstantial, then she shifts 2 squares. 1, 2 would put her back over here. Now I'm not going to retcon this. I'm not going to retcon it, but it could have worked a way. They would not have gotten their attack off with the movement when they moved adjacent to her. So you moved 2 squares and became insubstantial. And at that point, when she's insubstantial, I think takes half damage from any source. But she wouldn't have been in any sort of spot to where they could have seen her to bite or close to her to bite because she moved 2 squares away there from. But no, I'm going to play it as it is here. We'll go from there if it needs to come up next. Yeah, because she shifted back 1. She burning hands. We'll do that. We'll keep it that way. All good. She has a minor action. I don't think she has anything to do with the minor. Nope. Nope. Moving on. Goblin Warrior number 2. If he shifts back through the curtain, he's not going to be able to see him. So I think he'll just go ahead and do a spear attack onto Harbrick at that point. No additional modifiers. And 13 is not enough. He's got a speed of 6. Oh, by the way, he's also marked by Harbrick. So they're kind of in here in a one-on-one combat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to kind of grab a corner over there. Kind of disengaging, like, oh, big dwarf. Hitting hard. And some more human shooting arrows at him. Next one is Harbrick. Nothing else the Goblin Warrior could have done too. So let's move on to Harbrick. Obviously, he's going after him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, he's got a corner there. Unless he charges, because he could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, because he's got to move his speed. Oh, that was such a good movement by that Goblin. Nothing really he can do unless he moves. Oh, and I guess he could move and then he could charge. So we'll have him go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll have him charge at that point. 1, 2. So he's not going to be able to get any sort of like a reaping strike or anything, but he'll be able to just do a charge to get into the space there. All right, let's do that. Melee basic coming again. You ain't getting away from me, Goblin Face. Ooh, almost critical. Wasn't close to the 20. Well, I guess the 20's up there on the corner. But 28's definitely enough to hit. 2d6 plus 2, not 6. Not critical. Nothing else. 9 damage. Ugh. Not the best. Still bloodies him, though. Gets him down to bloodied. All right. With that, he could second one if he needed to, but he's not really. He's only got to take 7 damage. I think he's okay right now. He's still got him marked. They're just kind of in a one-on-one combat here in the back of the room. He's just forcing that goblin back and back. Goblin Slinger number 2. He is quarried. He's been hit. I think at this point he's going to short sword with some combat advantage against Andor. And he's going to get the +2 for the attack. 25 is going to be a hit. Now, with his combat advantage, he's got combat advantage granting to him. He gets a plus the target granting combat advantage to sharpshooter is hit by a sharpshooter attack. The target takes an extra 1d6 damage. So he's going to get his 2d6 +2 plus the extra 1d6 against Andor. 12 damage. Okay. Andor's been hit. Down to 18. I don't think that bloodies him, but it's still a good hit. Let's see here on Andor. Bloodied at 15. Yeah, he's certain he might need some healing at this point. It's going to be his turn next, which he can return the favor quite well. They're not marking or anything like that. Yeah, good hit by that sharpshooter. Let's see what else goes on here. He does still have a move action, but he can only shift. And I think I'm going to have him do that because then that will shift, that one shift there will actually get him out of combat advantage for Andor. So we're going to do that. Andor is up next. Andor is hurting. Perrin's missing. I've already used his tumble. He's already position striked. I think the best thing is just a kind of sly flourish. He doesn't have any sneak attack damage though. Yep. I think I'm just going to have him sly flourish at that point, and try to see what he can do best against Slinger number 2. So, sly flourish before the movement. No additional modifiers. 20 is definitely enough for a hit, so it's going to be 1d4 plus 8. No sneak attack damage, darn it. No critical damage and no additional modifiers. 11 damage on the number 2. That's pretty good. That'll bloody him. Down to 12. With that, maybe, gosh, I don't know if I want to risk with him being at 18. I mean, he still does get a +5 against opportunity attacks. Maybe he wants to get in and around to the backside, so he would go 1, 2, 3, 4. He would provoke an opportunity attack from both at each side. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. Melee basic, when he's moving from there to there, he's going to have a +5 to his armor class. That's definitely not enough to hit. Next one here with his short sword on Andor. +5 to that 18 is definitely not enough to hit. Okay, so he's able to move around. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of just moved around there in the middle of combat. They're swinging at him. He's just dodging, not getting hit, and getting in a good position on the backside there. Not bad. I don't think I'm going to pull out an action point right now. Nope, but let's go ahead and move on from there into round 3. Now, I forgot to take off Mira's stuff here. She's got her ongoing still going on, but the slowed for the dead one is definitely gone now. Okay, round 3. Goblin Slinger number 1. At this point, at least they're not making ranged attacks. I mean, he could shift here and then make his ranged attack. But he does more damage with the short sword. But let's just go ahead and have him short sword against Andor. He's going to try to get that halfling. Can he hit him? Yeah, he's definitely going to hit him. Oh, 2d6 plus 2. No combat advantage, so he's not going to get his combat advantage, but still a 2d6 could do some serious damage to Andor. Oh, not bad. 5. Okay. I think that's going to bloody Andor. I think Andor's bloodied now. Yep, he's at 15, and he's 15 bloody. He's now at 13. That's going to bloody him. He definitely needs some healing there. And at that point, the Goblin Slinger can shift there. That way. Kind of take a step back from him. Next one up is Perrin. This is move. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Perrin, he's got to shift back one because he needs to get a healing word out upon on Andor. So he's going to use his first healing word. Close burst 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's right in the zone there. I can just pull this up real quick and show you. Make it a square. And I'm going to put 5 on there. Yep, everybody's in the zone except for Harbrick. So close burst 5. He is going to do a healing word upon Andor. Gets the extra 3, healing weapon, plus an additional d6. 15 healing onto Andor. Oop, that's minus. I want the plus. Andor's almost back up, and he gets to spend a healing surge. It's down to 6. Let's go ahead and take Perrin's stuff off again here. Back to... Make it back to a circle. Okay. Not bad. That was a move and a minor. And now let's try a Lance of Faith. I think we need to do a Lance of Faith on number 1. Or does he want to go against the rats? Who's coming up next? Skylar's coming up next. She's kind of focused in on these slingers. So I think Perrin at that point is going to turn around and he's going to Lance of Faith the rats. Because they're attacking Mira. Hit this time. 15 is just enough to hit. All right. And with that, he's going to do 1d8 plus 4 damage. And no critical, no additional modifiers. Oh, minimum damage. 5 damage on the rats. Still enough. And he's going to give a +2 power bonus. Put the +2 here. To her next attack roll against the rats. Obviously, she's going to be doing that on her turn, but she's going to probably get hit first. But I'm going to pull out the insubstantial thing here, so we'll see how it works. Perrin did his move, he did his minor, and he did his standard. He's done there. Skylar's next, and obviously, yep, she is going to focus a twin strike again on both of those slingers. Let's try number 2 first. Ooh, 19. That's close to a critical. Not enough, but still. I mean, it's definitely enough, but not enough for a critical. But that is her quarry, so she's going to do 1d10 plus 2, plus the extra 1d6. And this quarry didn't change. That, I guess if it changed, it would have had to have been on RS2, but that was when he was down in the pit. So, rolling it. Nice, 14 damage. Is that enough to do him in? It sure is. So, with that, no longer quarried. Out. And sent off to the graveyard. Okay. She still has her second twin strike, which at this point, it's all part of the standard action, so we'll just keep going. She's not going to be able to quarry until later. Ooh, just hit by 1. Oof, that was close. Okay, got some damage. 1d10 plus 2, not quarried this time. Oh, I'm still low on those damages. I guess the one against the other one, she rolled an 8. That's not bad. 6 damage. That should be enough to bloody him. And then she's going to use her minor action to quarry the rats, because she'll focus in on those guys next. Okay, it's closest enemy. She still has a move action. I think she's going to want to get kind of away here. So we'll have her move her 6 speed and still kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's going to go right there. So that way she has line of sight on everything. Not going to action point at this point. Save that for probably the next encounter. Who knows? Rats turn next. Okay, rats are focused in on Mira. They're going to step forward 1 out of their move action, and that is going to set off Mira's Moonstride. So, an enemy moves adjacent to you. You become insubstantial. Well, that's on her turn. She takes her ongoing damage. So, insubstantial, she is hidden or invisible, basically. So, I'll put the little ninja on her. Okay. And until the end of your next turn. Okay, so I better mark that here in round 3. Target is Mira. End of target's next turn. Source is Mira. This was from Moonstride. Okay. Then you shift 2 squares to a square further from the triggering enemy. 1, 2. So, question is, do the rats still get their movement? And then half damage from targeting source. Half damage from any damage source. Yeah, because insubstantial. Yep. So what I'm going to say is the rats they can still smell, right? So they moved 1, 2, 3, and then, I'm sure they would try to keep moving, trying to discover where she's at and bump into her. So let's just do this attack. And then she would take half damage from the source if they hit. No additional modifiers. 21, they're going to hit, but she will take half damage from that. So she takes 3 damage instead. Okay. Wow, is that going to bloody Mira? Is that bloody Mira? Yep. No, 13. So she's not quite there yet. Okay, she's good. Okay, so the rats are kind of still jumping all over when she's insubstantial. I don't think that does anything to her. It's not like invisibility or anything. She just takes half damage from the source. Including ongoing damage. Nice. We'll take that. Okay. Perfect. I'll take that. Rats. They did their move. They did their standard. Nothing really else. But when she begins her next turn, she will get another attack against him. Oh boy. Okay. And next one up is Mira. So obviously she's going to begin her turn. The rats will make a swarm teeth against her. Ugh. Wait, I forgot to do this first. Wait a second. At the start of her turn, she'll take the ongoing damage, but since it's halved from the insubstantial, it's only 1. At the end of her turn, she'll get to make a save. She does get a +2 bonus to attacks against the rats as she's insubstantial, but they're still going to make their swarm of teeth attack against her. Let's see what happens. That's a critical hit. Oh! Yay, not good. Okay, so this will be max. So pretty much it would be 11 damage. So that's going to be 5 damage onto her from her insubstantial. That will definitely bloody her. Got to get some healing. Now, that's what happened. Let's see what we can do here. Because Perrin has Where did it go? Divine Channel Divinity. An enemy scores a critical hit against you or an ally within 5 squares of you. Mira is definitely within 5. The critical hit becomes the normal hit. You can use only one Channel Divinity power per encounter. Well, we're going to use it right there because that was a critical hit. So it becomes a normal hit. So then it's only the 5 damage instead of the 11 damage. So I'm going to put the 5 back onto her. And I'm going to take the 5, which is going to be halved, so it's going to be down to 2 damage. Much, much better. Mirrors, though, I think is still bloodied at this point. Yes, she is at 12. But at least with that armor of Bahamut channel divinity power, we're able to not be so much damage to her. Okay. That was for starting her turn next to the rats because of their aura is how that works, because they have that swarm attack aura. So Mira now, with her move action, she needs to get some distance away from them. I mean, they're down to 17 hit points. She's got to get a good hit on them here. You know, maybe she will go 1, shift away there so she doesn't provoke. And we want to, she already used her burning hands. I mean, she could second wind, but Perrin could get her a healing surge here before the rats get to go again. I mean, she could probably Ray of Frost them to slow them. What to do, what to do, what to do, what to do. Thinking. Well, do. Area burst 10 has a scorching burst that goes down somewhere. I mean, she's either magic missile for 9. That might be the best thing to do here at this point. How long does her insubstantial last until the end of the target's next turn? So she's going to become substantial again. You know, at this point, you know, I'm almost to the have her shift with her move action, and then downgrade her standard action to get some distance and just move away is what I'm thinking. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then get her away from these rats while she's still insubstantial. Just to kind of get away. And then we'll go to the end of her turn and see if she can save against that ongoing damage. She didn't take the Lance of Faith attack where she would have got a +2, and that lasts until the attacker roll. Oh, the power bonus to his or her next attack roll against the target. So it's marked against there. I'm going to put a purple mark on here just to know that that is the target of her her next attack. So she hasn't made it yet. It doesn't go away like anything else, but okay, so let's do a save. Oh, 9 is not enough to save. So she's still got the ongoing going on there. She'll go to the end of her next turn, and her insubstantial will come off from her Moonstride. So we'll take the little ninja guy off. She is now still got the +2 and the ongoing going on there. Ugh. All right. Goblin Warrior number 2. I mean, he's still just there with his spear attack against Harbrick. You know, they're just trading blows, but he's kind of losing this fight here. But I mean, there's nothing else he can do unless he tries to disengage. But then he's marked, and if he, I forgot that if he shifts while he's marked, he provokes an opportunity attack. So he's just got to stand his ground there right now. All right, he's going to spear attack against Harbrick. And that's going to hit. And he did not move any squares, so it's not going to get an extra damage. So he's just going to get his 1d8 plus 2. See what happens. Doesn't get his great position. 8 damage on the Harbrick. Okay, down to 22. Whittling away. I think he's, after getting that hit in there, he's just going to stand his ground at that point, hoping that Harbrick might miss, and then he could shift and get some space distance. But next turn is Harbrick. So let's see what Harbrick's going to do here. You know, I think it's time for a reaping strike. He doesn't need to do anything else. I guess he could do his spinning sweep. And let's do that and knock him prone. Let's do that. Spinning sweep. Hopefully he hits. Ooh, close to that 20. 19's enough to hit. All right, this could kill him, but who knows? Maybe just, 2d6 plus 6, and he knocked the target prone. Nothing additional. 10 is exactly, I think, what he needs to kill him. So yeah, he's definitely going to knock him prone. Definitely knocks him prone and knocks him out. Oh, let's scoot it over and get the X there. And let's send him to the graveyard. He's out. All right. Harbrick has a move action still. So I think I will have him go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kind of leaving that dead goblin down there. Looking around the corner, seeing Skylar, and then the rats up there in the corner too. So things are looking pretty interesting, what we got going on here so far. So with that, he doesn't have any, and that was his move. I mean, he could use his pass forward, but he's not next to an enemy. Doesn't really need any healing right now, so he is going to end his turn. Andor's up next. All right. Yeah, I don't want to use the daily right now. Not a good point to use the daily. I think he just goes in with a sly flourish. See if he can take out this guy here. So he will just shift forward 1. Sly flourish melee. No additional. 19's definitely enough to hit. Let's do some damage. Sly flourish 1d8 plus 8. 1d4 plus 8. No sneak attack damage, not a critical. 10 damage. Ooh, he's close. He's down to 4 hit points. Definitely in a bad way. And we are going on to round number 4. Man, 4 rounds on this. And the Goblin Slinger number 2 definitely got hit, so he didn't have anything else come off. I think he's still going to short sword against Andor, even though Andor's got some healing. Maybe he does that, then he shifts back just to kind of get some space. So yeah, let's short sword. He's been having luck hitting the halfling. Not this time. He's going to miss. All right, then he's going to shift back his 1 square like, they're going to kill me. Perrin's up next. I think Perrin's mostly focused on those rats right now. And I think he's got line of sight on him here too. He's got a corner there and he got a corner there. Yep. So, Perrin, do something useful. I guess he could give Skylar. Skylar's been focused on the goblin, but he could also, with his sacred flame, if he hits, he could be giving her a plus there too. So let's do that. I mean, not a sacred flame, his lance of faith. And that's a hit. All right. All right. It was Lance of Faith, 1d8 plus 4 damage. Not a critical. No additional modifiers. Max damage, 12 damage on those rats. Oh, that's a good hit. That's going to set Skylar up. So with that, and one ally you can see gains a +2 bonus. Well, guess what? We're going to give that to Skylar too, because I'm sure she's going to pull out a twin strike here on the rats and the goblins and try to take them out. Minor action. With that, he's going to use his second healing word upon Mira. There again, the close burst 5. She's definitely within range. We need it on Mira right now because she needs some help. 14 on to Mira. Nice. 26 out of 27, almost full. She'll take one healing surge off. And that will end. He does have a move action. You know, I think that's going to end Perrin's turn. We're just going to leave him right there where he's at. That's a good spot. I mean, he could shift over one. Or maybe we'll have him come over here. He'll go over there kind of to block the way so that no one can get around to Mira. Yeah, not bad. Okay. Good job, Perrin. Skylar's up next. Skylar, definitely going to be pulling out a twin strike. Let's have her focus on the rats right now with this twin strike. See if she can take them out. She's going to get the extra 2 modifier to the attack from the Lance of Faith. And 22 is enough to hit. 1d10 plus 2. And they're quarried, by the way. Damage. 1d10 plus 2. Quarry damage of 1d6. This should be enough to take him out. 13 damage on the rats. They're finally gone. Those stinking little rats. All right. They are no longer +2 for Mira, but they are done. Front and to the graveyard. Okay, second attack onto the Goblin Slayer. If she hits, this is good. I'm going to take off the double swords here for Mira because she is done there. Second part of the twin strike onto the Goblin. No additional modifier, just straight attacking. 19 versus 16 is a hit. Damage. 1d10 plus 2. Not quarried. I guess she could use her quarry, but it's a part of the action. I'm not going to do that. I mean, she can quarry it after this, but I'm not going to do that at this point. I don't think she's going to need it anyway. It's 7 damage, and that's going to be enough to do it. Okay, and with that, I think we are done with combat. Everybody has been dispatched. And in round 4, the heroes are able to take out the whole entire party. Nothing else really going on here. Got some doors. Got an open door over there. We got a little corridor that heads up around here. We got a little blood stain on the ground here. A couple more doors up around there. Let's see where the heroes end up doing their next encounter at. But this one here, they have successfully taken out the goblins and the rats in their pit trap in the goblin guard room area, where I guess they were supposed to be on high alert. They should have been on high alert, knowing that their cobalt friends have been all dispatched. At that point, we'll go ahead and take the ongoing damage off here because they'll eventually be able to save against that. And probably need to do some healing for our party here. Skylar didn't take any damage. Mira's at 26-27. I think we'll leave it at there. Andor's okay, and Harbrick had one. Let's use a healing surge on him just do like his own little healing surge through his second wind before the end of the encounter, because he gets to use it as a minor, and he'll just do a healing surge value. So his value is 9. We'll take one of his healing surges off and give him plus 9. So he's up to 31. Not quite full. Andor's not quite full. Perrin's full. Mira is close to full. And Skylar didn't get hit once. All right. And that's it. So with this encounter, when they search the goblins, they will discover 43 gold pieces and 51 silver pieces. And that is pretty much it for this encounter. Nothing really else important around this area. It's just the entry room. And with that, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you for next time.